Good day, everyone. This is Avril Hussein A. Carnitas, a third year B.Ed student, and welcome to another pre-recorded presentation. Today, we will be discussing about the basic economics, and this video is designed to help you understand important economic concepts that are essential not only in real life but also for the licensure examination for teachers or LET. Here is our learning objectives. We will first discuss the basic economic principles, then move on to economic activities, and finally, we will explore the political economy and its different ISMS. So first, let's dive into the basic economic principles. Now let's define what is economics. Economics is the study of how people use limited resources to satisfy unlimited wants, and it focuses on scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost. This means that economics help us understand how individuals, family, businesses, and governments decide what to produce, buy, or provide when resources are limited. Since resources like money, time, and materials are scarce, people cannot have everything they want. Because of scarcity, people are forced to make choices, and every choice has a cost. This cost is not always money, but it can also be time or missed opportunities. So a key idea in economics is opportunity cost, which means choosing one option means giving up another. Understanding this helps explain everyday decisions and government policies. Example, if a student uses their allowance to buy load instead of snacks, the opportunity cost is the snack they gave up. This shows how scarcity forces people to prioritize needs and wants. Next is the economic resources or factors of production. Economic resources, also called factors of production, which includes land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. It means all goods and services are produced using four basic resources. Land refers to all natural resources provided by our nature. Labor, it includes all human efforts, whether physical or mental. Capital refers to tools and equipment used to produce goods, not money itself. And last is the entrepreneurship. It is the ability to organize the other factors, take risks, and make decisions. These resources work together to produce goods and services. Without one factor, production becomes difficult or inefficient. For example, in a school, land is the school building and grounds. Labor includes teachers and staff. Then capital includes shares, books, and computers. And then the entrepreneurship is shown by the principal planning schedules and managing resources. Next is the economic systems and tools. Economic systems answer what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. Tools include prices, incentives, and government intervention. An economic system is how a society organizes production and distribution of goods. Different systems answer basic economic questions differently. Traditional systems rely on customs, command systems rely on government decisions, market systems rely on buyers and sellers, and mixed systems combine both market freedom and government regulation. Economic tools help guide behavior, prices, signal scarcity, incentives that encourage certain actions, and taxes or subsidies are used by the government to correct market problems. For example, in the Philippines, rice prices increase when supply is low. To protect consumers, the government may subsidize rice. This shows how mixed economies use both market forces and government intervention. Let's move forward to economic activities. The circular flow of economic activities. The circular flow shows how money, goods, and resources move between households, firms, and government. The circular flow model explains how different sectors of the economy interact. Households provide labor and receive income. Firms produce goods and services and pay wages. The government collects taxes and provides public services. Money and resources move continuously, showing that all sectors depend on each other. Understanding this model helps explain employment, government spending. For example, a teacher works in a school and earns a salary. The teacher uses that money to buy goods and pay taxes. The government uses taxes to fund education and infrastructure. So this cycle shows how economic activities are connected. Now let's move on to supply and demand. Supply and demand determine prices in the market. So when we say demand, it shows how much consumers are willing and able to buy, while supply shows how much producers are willing to sell. According to the law of demand, higher prices reduce demand. And according to the law of supply, higher prices encourage producers to supply more. Prices change depending on shortages. Example, during a typhoon, rice supply decreases because rice becomes scarce. Prices increase. Some consumers buy less or choose alternatives. This real-life situation shows how supply affects price and demand. Next is production, cost, and profit. When we say profit, it is the difference between revenue and cost. Production is the process of creating goods and services. Costs include expenses such as materials, labor, and utilities. Revenue is the income from sales. Profit is earned when revenue is higher than cost. Businesses aim to maximize profit while controlling costs. Understanding this relationship helps us explain why businesses raise prices or reduce expenses. Example, if a school canteen spends 5,000 and earns 8,000, the 3,000 difference is profit. So this profit can be used to improve services or buy more supplies. Next is monopoly versus competition. Monopoly has one seller and competition has many sellers. In a monopoly, one seller controls the market, often leading to higher prices and fewer choices. In competition, many sellers compete, resulting in better quality and lower prices. Governments often regulate monopolies to protect consumers. Example, electricity providers are usually monopolies because only one company supplies power in an area. In contrast, rice sellers in public markets compete, giving consumers more options and better prices. Next is the financial system. The financial system manages the flow of money in the economy. The financial system includes banks and institutions that accept savings and provide loans. The BSP supervises banks and ensures financial stability. This system helps move money from savers to borrowers, supporting business growth and employment. Example, when a teacher deposits money in a bank, the bank lends it to a business. That business expands and hires workers, helping the economy grow. Next is money and monetary policy. Monetary policy is controlled by the BSP to regulate the economy. Money functions as a medium of exchange, a unit of account, and a store of value. Monetary policy involves controlling interest rates and money supply to manage inflation and economic growth. The BSP or Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas adjusts policies depending on economic conditions. Example, if inflation is high, BSP raises interest rates. This makes borrowing expensive, reducing spending and slowing inflation. Now let's dive into the political economy. Political economy studies the relationship between government, economy, and society. This framework examines how power and resources are distributed and who benefits from economic decisions. Government policies directly affect education, health, and employment. Example, when the government increases the education budget, teachers receive better support and students benefit from improved facilities. Next is the two ideal types of political economies. The capitalism and socialism, which differ in ownership and goals. When we say capitalism emphasizes private ownership and profit, while socialism emphasizes state ownership and equality. Most countries use a mix of both systems. Example, private schools operate under capitalism while public schools reflect socialist principles through government funding. Next is the key problems. Each system has advantages and disadvantages. Capitalism can cause inequality, while socialism may reduce motivation and efficiency. Understanding these problems helps evaluate economic policies critically. For example, large income gaps in cities show capitalist inequality, while slow innovation in some state-run industries reflect socialist challenges. Next, we have mixed economy. A mixed economy combines market and government control. Most countries balance private enterprise with government regulation to protect consumers and workers while encouraging growth. Example, the Philippines allow private businesses but regulates education, labor, and health services. Next, we have the ISMS in political economy. Those are the capitalism, socialism, communism, and neoliberalism. It explains different economic ideas. These ideologies shape policies and economic decisions. Example, privatization reflects neoliberalism, while free public education reflects socialist ideas.
In conclusion, economics is about how people and the governments make choices to use limited resources to meet their needs and wants. Learning about economic principles, resources, activities, and systems, as well as political economy and different ISMS help us understand how money, goods, and services move in society. The Philippines is a mixed economy combining private businesses and government regulation.
As we end this lesson, remember that economics is part of our daily life. The choices we make, how we spend money, and how resources are used all relate to basic economic ideas. Always review the key concepts such as scarcity, choice, supply, and demand, and how the economy works. Keep practicing these concepts, and I'm sure you will do great on the LET. If you feel confused about any topic, review the examples again or ask questions for clarification. Thank you for watching and keep studying step by step.